One, two, three. What's going on, guys? I am Journey, and this is the fourth episode of the Journey Pages podcast. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about the table. You know, that toxic conversation about, hey, what you bring to the table? I remember back when I was coming up into the world as a very, very young man. And, I was all over the place when I was young. Like, every chick on the block was my girlfriend. I didn't care. I went around saying it. I had no problems. I was chasing things from left and right from the age, well, at least up until I was like the age of 7. I had no care in the world, which I think actually helped me out because right now, I don't do no, I don't go up trying to spit no game to nobody. If I care about somebody, I'm generally interested. I'm never going to spit game. I'm just going to go up and have try to have a regular conversation, see where that goes. I never try to get to a point to get somebody to be laughing and smiling because my mind is on one single goal and just kind of figure out what the person's situation is. And that's actually really helped me out. It's actually helped keep me to keep me standing out from other people because everybody's spitting game, right? And then you got this one guy rolling up, and and she's probably thinking, "Oh, he ain't a bad looker. Like, what's going on?" And you dropping up, and you keeping it respectful and kind, and you just having like real conversation, and it usually wins out. So there you go. But either way, I never dated anybody that ever asked me that question, nor could I ever recall that actually being a thing where people would check for that. Like my uncles used to tell me that a woman's never gonna love you for you, bro. She's gonna love you for everything else. And looking at the way how like society is right now, and then they're probably right. In terms of they're probably right because it's like you don't get an opportunity like that to. I think you only get it once. If you do, if this even is a thing where you find a woman that she just like, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But even when you're at your lowest, you can, at least by default, still find somebody, right? And the thing that was like kind of crazy for me was there's that term that exists. They call you call him the ride or die kind of jerk. Maybe the ride or die kind of brother. It's like it's me and her, and she got that same mentality where it's her and him, and it's us against the world. Screw everybody else. Now we in this together. It's just us. No matter what, they could then we here. You don't find that. I'm not. I don't even think that exists anymore. Um, I really honestly don't because now everything is that outside of like a mother's love is the one thing I would probably say is unconditional. Outside the fact of just obviously doing what you should be doing, which is not cheating, stuff like that. But man, like it's that's like the dream right there. But either way, back to the table real quick. So when you come down and you at least somebody asks you this question, what I usually typically find is that it's not even an evaluation of an individual, it's an evaluation of their like resources, essentially. And like every time I hear it, it always comes off as somebody's trying to use you and not trying to get to know you. It's like this crazy thing. Like, okay, if you're asking somebody that, and you're let's just say you're evaluating that information with information from another person, because obviously people are now talking about having, well, if you're in talks exclusively with someone, and that you should be seeing other people waving out your options and stuff like that. The problem is with all this stuff is, once again, is that if things don't pan out, usually people don't take accountability for their choices. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of times when I get into a conversation with people, you'd be surprised at how many people can't make a decision for themselves, that they need other people to make the decision for them or convince them to make that decision before they actually go forward with something. And that's a highlight of letting you know that somebody's not ready for a full relationship yet. Any, let alone anything on a more serious tone. So you have to make sure you stay away from that. But for somebody asking this, I always, and forever always say nothing. Well, I won't say nothing at all because there's no reason for you to know exactly what I bring. It's not about bringing anything, regardless of the fact of, it's more like a common sense thing. Like, I don't even know your middle name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that just kind of rub me off the wrong way. I don't know your middle name. I don't know background from your family. I don't know what your dreams are. I don't even know what you enjoy. I don't even know what your favorite color is. I don't even know what your favorite food is. I don't know your favorite spots to go to. I don't know anything about you. But we're sitting at at this awkward random table that exists or non-existent and asking each other what we bring. Like, isn't there steps before we actually get here? And when you have that conversation, shouldn't you be having that conversation when you talk about something more serious? People are doing this stuff before you're even before you even engage in an individual, but like from their own character personality. Like, too busy looking at, once again, trying to position yourself in a place where you're using somebody's resources to justify a means of trying to establish a relationship with a person. You want to find somebody that has a career, this thing, all that, all that good stuff. The problem that I find is a career ain't going to stop a person from putting their hands against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, raising their hands and beating a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like, your career ain't going to stop you from cheating. Your career ain't going to stop you from messing around. You know what I'm saying? Investing into the wrong financial, let's call it wormhole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things doesn't equate to character, right? Your career doesn't mean you're closer to God. You feel what I mean? I hope people truly understand. So I think if you're going to have that conversation about what somebody brings to the table, my my thing will be, first, you should, before you even get to that point, establish something that you have something positive going with that person first. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we chill, we like the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I like you. Okay, let's sit down and have a real conversation, because I like you ready to take the next steps, and I got to see if you ready to take those real next serious steps with me too. So we got to sit down and have this discussion. That's what it should be. You know what I'm saying? When um when I was getting around talking to folks, I never that's something I never did, nor did I ever accept. Like, it's just so easy to see. Now, I've been lucky. I feel like I've been super ultra lucky. Once again, single guy, no kids. I got everything in front of me. Like, it's just it all depends. It all depends on how you look at it. You can have moments of loneliness, which is, I think that's natural, it's normal, and I think it's actually a good thing too, because that loneliness is going to get you motivated. You know, you can have moments of happiness where you get up in the morning, you hear the birds chirping. Like, for me, you hear the birds chirping, I get a cup of coffee, you just drink that thing, and like it feels like your pores opening up. It's just like, damn, it's like you feel like you on clouds or something, right? Go and take a shower after you got all your sheets washed and cleaned, and you lay down on the bed, and you just like, oh my god, especially like Saturday morning, Sunday morning, you ain't got nothing to do. Shoot, play a game, chill, relax. Like, you ain't got nobody to worry about. Like, there's benefits, but also there's some non-benefits, right? Where you do have that sense of loneliness, you wish you could have somebody to talk to, and just have a good time with laughing with stuff like that. But that whole thing about to the table and how we now consider relationships to be contractual, or at least people feel as though it's a pipe dream to think of something unconditional. Like, I think the fantasy is kind of done at this point. Where you chasing after actually what you should be chasing after is the ride or die kind of chick. That's a dream. That's the fantasy right now. Because I don't, they used to be around, I think, but the way how society has morphed the mindset, I don't think they exist no more. I really don't. That's the dream. That's the dream. You got a chick like that, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. The ride or die chick is that type of chick, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. That if somehow, some way that you had like a baby with her, and she does not put you on child support, you a damn fool for letting that one go. Any brother in their right mind will tell you the same damn situation. If you got a girl like that, lock her up. Put a ring on her finger. Do not freaking wait. There's certain people that you meet in life that will not hesitate to throw you up on that. If you got a person out there who got your back like that, like even in situations, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, both parties don't know what you do, but she got your back by not trying to put you in front. No, we gonna handle this together. We gonna do this together. She's like that. You better not drop that. You better not. If you drop that for some other reason, you a damn fool. And you'll be, I'm sorry, I don't know what other dudes out there that be comfortable outside of deadbeats that be running away from their responsibilities, but you don't let a shit like that go. You ain't never gonna find nobody like that again. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep it real. You ain't, the way how people are nowadays, you is not gonna find nobody like that. That's hard to find. That she got your back like that, shit, you better have, excuse me for my language, but you better have her back. You better have her back in ways unimaginable. That's what I'm saying about like a ride or die kind of person. That even in your lowest point, as long as it's not some crazy where you're going outside of the relationship to do something disrespectful, she got your back. Like that's, it's hard to say. I don't feel like they're out there like that here, because there are people that do some wild stuff, right? And so when you're sitting down and you're having this discussion, remember it should still always be about character, right? But it's okay. You kind of what kind of career you're bringing, how much figures you're making, right? People should be trying to. This is the point where you should not be trying to figure out somebody's figures or salary. You should be trying to figure out their plan, and then more importantly, how they're going to incorporate you in their plan. You've been together for a little bit. You've been chilling for a little bit. Now it's time for something serious. That's what the table conversation should be about. People are now doing this as a starting point to actually try to see if they're going to talk to somebody, or I feel like I'm wasting my time. You ain't got no daggone time to waste. Like, who the heck is you? Like, I'm sorry to the people out there, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it real because I'm a realist. Like, if you think of yourself as so freaking important that if you're going to talk to somebody, that unless you have this conversation, you're going to be wasting your time. Trust me, you got an inflated ego, and that needs to get brought down just a little bit. People now talking about something, you're not going to set the bare minimum anymore. But it's through the effort in that bare minimum that you could get a good understanding of a gauge of how good a man or a woman is. Because those bare minimum stuff is the foundation of building a home. Dudes, sorry to disrespect you. If you feel disrespected about this, but this is the facts. You can build a house, but usually the glue to that house is her. These are usually normally what goes down within the household. You know what I'm saying? So when you got the brick, she's the mortar, and she keeps this. She keeps stuff together. It's facts, and I think the next video is going to be about men stepping up, how we can step up. But part of the issues that goes on is just the lack of accountability. Hold yourselves to a higher standard. And it's not about accepting the bare minimum. No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's understanding how valuable the bare minimum is and how it serves as a baseline to get a better understanding so you can make better decisions and then own your decisions. So when you're sitting up there and you're trying to have this conversation at the table, there's going to be a different type of people that comes to that table that you need to make sure you check. People that are looking to use you, people that want to be in your life, people that want to just simply exist within your space. That's really about it, right? Use you, be with you, and exist within your space. The people that just want to exist in your space, that's that, and the other person that want to use you, those two, at some point they're going to leave your life, unless you somehow maintain whatever that it may be. Whether if it's resources, it'll be money. But if you lose that, she's gone. The other person who just wants to exist there, because she probably doesn't have a reason to actually want to exist, you better find out what that reason is. But if I'm just kind of chilling here, kind of kicking, you're probably not gonna have a relationship with that one. I'm just gonna keep it real. If you go for that, good luck. But you're probably not gonna have anything there because she don't even know what she wants for herself. She's just kind of kicking, winging it. Ooh, which just reminds me of a story. But either way, you want to get to the point that the person actually want to be with you. But during that process of that conversation, you should already have time that you spent with her. You know what I'm saying? It is true that a man should know what he wants. I know exactly what the hell I want. But there's a difference between that and then knowing when is that time to actually put a ring on that finger. That's what all this stuff is about. The time that you take to get to know somebody, from your initial point to the midpoint towards you getting towards the end, all that stuff there means something. And it should mean something. But you have to sit back, take a real crazy seat back and recognize it's something a little bit more important than just what's going on in your head. Get out your ego. Right? Get out that mind. Get up. Go straight to the mirror, look at yourself. Real serious. And then think. All this stuff about the table. What do I truly want? When should this conversation at this table happen? Because it should not happen at all when you first start talking to somebody. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. The more money you have, the least likely of ability you have to want to share that wealth with someone. They can say whatever they want. Stop listening all the time to rich folks and everything else. Listen to common sense. And common sense can be had anywhere. People think somebody got money. Oh, they got all the answers. No, it don't work that way. Listen to common sense. Common sense falls under the line of, if you truly want to find somebody that's going to make you happy, you cannot stand today and look in the mirror and think I'm going to have to be the same person and expect better results. So you got to work on you. It's not just about a financial aspect. Forget that. But you can still continue to work on yourself emotionally, spiritually, yada, yada. So whenever that situation do happen, that you find somebody, you come more to the table, well, you do have a better plan. Something that incorporates her in. I know exactly what I'm going to say if I have to sit here at this awkward table for whatever reason. But usually it's not going to happen that way. I know the type of person I am. I'm just going to drop the hammer on her. It's going to be out of nowhere. That's just who I am. I know exactly when it's going to be out of nowhere. I'm just going to pull her up like, yo, we're going to have to talk. And it's just going to come out. And I'm going to start just laying them out. Think of it like, I've been doing a really good job with my life lately. But I should say lately for a long time now. Think like the Matrix, right? You get these bullets coming, and you see people be like dodging these things like tsunamis. Like all the bullets coming in, you just dodging the left and right. That's how I am when it comes to BS. I know exactly how to maneuver my way out of the crap. But you have to, one, establish a core foundation of beliefs for yourself that you will tolerate and one that you will not tolerate. Right? 2, you need to establish a plan, a vision of what you want your life to look like and represent. 3, if you are going to go this far, which you should be willing to go this far if you care for someone, then you must be able to show her how you're going to incorporate her within this space, in this dream. You must then be willing to make her a foundational, like she has to be within the foundations of this translation. She's not just the beneficiary of your dream, right? She should be the reason, like, how do I put this? There's a certain, like I said before, there's a certain thing that makes a man better, where she starts to become your actual purpose. You know what I'm saying? At least part of your purpose. People are so busy living in fear. Well, this can happen. Anything can happen. All this other stuff can happen. If that's the case, why come to the table? If that's the case, why even ask me what do I bring to the table, right? If that's the case, well, actually, I'm never going to ask you what you bring to the table. I don't think, guys, we need to be asking chicks what they bring to the table. I think you should know. You should know what you're looking for. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking for at this table. I mean, like some guys will not get to a relationship unless she's working. It's mandatory for them. I know more than a few like that. Because of all the crazy stuff that's going on right now. And it's like, no, you're not going to use me as an ATM. You have to be working. Like, I'm not going to give anybody like anything can happen. since we want to play that game, right? Anything can happen, right? So what happens when she can't? Well, you get involved with someone and like she has to be. Well, what you want to do? Kick her to the curb? Why? Because they willing to kick you to the curb? Like it's. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know. I don't know what people thinking. I just don't get it. All I can say is when I got involved in my relationships, this is exactly how my mindset was. Um, we was chill for a while. She was smart. She was smart. She became friends with my mother first. She wasn't even trying to talk to me. She became friends with my mother first. She was smart. Um, and then things were set up, and we went out, and it's okay. We got process of talking, and one day I was just kind of walking. We usually be walking, chilling, and I knew there was somebody else that was trying to holler, and I just knew her character because she was very nice, very sweet, very wonderful. And I just knew somebody was going to try stuff because you don't find it's hard to find people, but usually a good girl gets screwed up by everything else around her. A friend, an old friend who was a horrible individual told me that one time, but this is a whole different conversation, but we'll go into it. And so what I did was to ask her out was when we was out there walking, we was just taking a stroll. It wasn't nothing. Right out of nowhere, because I like something new. I was like, I gotta do this. So I got down on one knee and asked her out. Got down on one knee and asked her out. That felt so good too. I was freaking happy because I was like, oh, I'm preparing for when I actually get married. I know what I'm gonna have to do when I'm without the ring. But like, will you marry me? Like, it was just small things. Like it was so fun to do. And I also never forget this one thing that happened as well. And this is how you got like a guardian angel watching your back. Um, so when we was walking, like sometimes we go on for walks and stuff like that. And it was this one time we was just walking across the street, and it was just the way how some of the streets are, yada yada. So I was on the side, well, she was on the side where the cars come in, and then somebody rolled up. Some black dude just rolled right on up, pulled his car over to the side. He's like, "Yo, man, get over here, get over here." I'm like, "What the hell is this going on?" She was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I'm about to go find out though. Like, we was living at a bad spot. It wasn't too long ago that it was late night, and I was just kind of out strolling, and somebody was just talking, and I'm like, well, "What's going on? What's going on?" And somebody was trying to threaten to like to shoot, and all this other nonsense. But we was just because I was, but something told me this guy didn't seem too bad. So I rolled up to his spot. He's like, "That's your girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, never let her on the side where the cars come. You the protector. You the provider. You get on the other side. Anytime when you walk, you protect her. He's like, "Don't let me see that again. I'm gonna kick your ass." Like something like that. Yeah. It was dope. I was like looking back now, I was like, okay, but looking back now, like it was so crazy. It was funny, but it was really good. And still to this day, because I remember it, like it was like a long time ago. It was like over 20 years ago. But I still remember it to this day. And I'm always in practice. Anybody that's been out with me, or at least a lady, any ladies or whatever that been out with me, even as a group, guys, whatever the case may be, and you with me, and people always gonna say there's a reason for it. Some people might not like it, but there's a reason for it. And if you listen to the podcast, I've been saying something like this consistently. It's like I can't be with somebody who doesn't allow me to be in practice because I've always had good people around me. I mean, or at least, well, yeah, I would say that, but also somebody always came out of nowhere, just when you don't expect anything, and just drops you over some knowledge. It's almost like somebody's watching over you. And the craziest thing is, it's like, how do I put this? It's like if you are a believing God, you do watch like some of the scriptures and stuff like that. I'm not as crazy into it because like I feel and I know I have the answer to higher power. I try not to get too crazy into the scripture because I think sometimes we have people that preach, they just don't practice, right? And I think sometimes even within the Bible, people try to misconstrue stuff in there. I think you see people doing that now, especially when it comes to finances. Um, I think a lot of people misconstrue stuff and kind of take it to a whole different place where it doesn't need to go, and just try to justify their means to try to take advantage of the situation, or so they don't have to be accountable for this or anything else. So the people aren't pulling their weight. But it's one of those things that Like I still hold on to this day. And if I'm doing something like that and somebody can't appreciate, you know they're not right. And this is the bare minimum stuff. But this is the makeup of a man. You feel me? Like a real man. Those small things, holding the door for a person, stuff like that. If you can't appreciate that since you no longer want to set the bare minimum, the step in the bare minimum was not a pathway for me to get into your jeans. Sorry, but trust me, there's other better looking things out there. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. And even if she doesn't look all that good, that personality can catapult her. Like the more beautiful you are, and the more crap they talk, that beauty come down like crazy. But she don't have to be all that beautiful. She talk good. You know what I'm saying? She just seems so nice and sweet. Oh my God. Like it just goes, ooh. Like, like I'm gonna keep it real. Beauty only takes you but so far. So remember, there's a multitude of things that has to happen at this table. But the table only exists for when you actually are doing something serious, like really serious. Like who thought this thing was smart? Like, yo, bro, like you go ahead and talk to somebody and like you trying to holler, like, yo, mom, what's going on? What'd you bring to the table? Like, who freaking does that? Like, yo, like, I'm sorry, but who does that? Like, that's like a quick way of just, oh, that's like, for me, especially when I was coming up, like, in the streets, and when somebody would, like, pop something like that, it was like, you could guarantee this person was around this, that, and chances are you could probably find somebody that know this chick on the block. Like, that's what that is. Like, people are now, like, I think a lot of folks just listen to the internet. I think that's what goes on. Like, I notice how sometimes when I'm talking to some people, or I get around and you hear certain things and people don't know how to talk to you, address you. Like I hear a lot of stuff that I'm starting to understand now, especially throughout the years. I'm catching like, where people coming from? You start hearing more and more on the internet. I'm like, is that why? Like, it's everything sounds so similar and the same, and it's almost like you kind of like. Sometimes I'm also a little bit fearful for the fact of having to tell someone some stuff. But I'm about to start not having a filter, not caring, because you want to you don't want to hurt people and their feelings, but bro, like some of the way how these people be talking, some of the places I've been at, some ladies that be out and make a living on the street talk the same exact way. Talk the same exact way. And they call it legalize the other word. But hell, if a government could, I'm quite confident they would. The only thing you have to do is they'll have an app they'll have an app on your iPhone or your Android that you can download. You go in, you sign in with your social security number. You have your direct deposit set up already. You can search within a 15 to 25-mile radius of different individuals that will offer you said services. You could click on the face and go down the list of seeing how much the services for whatever the case may be, right? $75 for this, $125 for this, or whatever the case may be, $50, whatever the case may be, maybe $25 for just some emotional support. Like you could probably go all the way down the list, probably put in, and whatever you check will go in for like a check mark. You'll have your total, and then you could probably put in, and then all you would have to do, like this is available for purchase. When the service gets done, you will first have to click approve. She will have to click approve, or he, whatever your situation may be, will have to click approve. Boom, money's transferred. The government gets their portion of it because it's going to get taxed. That's the reason why the certain things is there's a difference between legal and non-legal. Because the government could tax it, right? If they could tax it, it's illegal. But either way, like that's what this kind of situation comes down to me. It may be a little bit extra to explain, but stuff like this makes me feel like we're not too far from there. I don't know what it is or what's going on, but I think when I think about the table and I think about what is this for, I'm always going to ask myself, who is this person? Who is this person? Like, why? Like, damn, we ain't even eat nothing. Like, we ain't go out nowhere. We ain't gonna see nothing. Hell, I never been to Disney World. I ain't go with her neither. I never been with her. We ain't ever been out to eat. We haven't gone to the park. We haven't done nothing. I just met this chick. She talking about this. And I know you ain't ready. You ain't ready for nothing serious. Something normally tells me, usually in those situations, something tells me She got a kid. She's tired. And she wants somebody to pay her way. Don't worry. I counted that more than enough times. Just keeping it real. Like, it's just, you got to protect yourself while you're out here. A lot of dudes also, a lot of ladies too. You got to start understanding what it really truly means to protect yourself. So I know a lot of people repeat things from what they see online, from like a lot of the so-called experts and stuff like that. But please understand, they're talking from a generalization, right? It's a generalization. At no point, some of these conversations needs to have like asterisks on them, unless you are into thinking about a more serious relationship with the individual that you are currently talking to. Then this conversation at the table should apply, and this is what you're looking for, or what maybe you should look for, right? And whatever the case may be, this might work, but realize nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. So the conversation with men that you need to start having with yourself, because she's not going to come perfect, bro. It don't work that way. You got to have a conversation. You can talk about this 80-20 all you want, but what the hell are you doing to fill in the rest of the 20%? What you trying to uplift her with, so that way she can be able to establish and become better, so that way she can cover the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta have. That stop expecting, or at least stop thinking, okay, well, I ain't gonna work. It's just gonna be like this. No, it ain't gonna be like. It ain't gotta be like that. You can have these conversations and talks and work with her to help her along the way, to uplift her and encourage her about the good things she's doing, maybe some bad things. You want things you want to dislike, regardless. That's just nature of the beast. For crying out loud, I talked about family. I've talked about family before. Like, let's get real. Like, you're not gonna agree with everything. But at the end of the day, there's no such thing as like, I do not believe in an 80-20 rule. What I believe in, you have somebody you could work to build foundations with, and the rest of the stuff you could work on along the way, because as you're in a relationship, we all grow, we all change, but we work and we change for each other. And we blend to the people that we like being with. That's how you start it. If I go out and I get you flowers, take you out for a nice dinner, whatever the case may be, hell, even freaking sing you a lullaby, whatever it is, and you do not appreciate, no, hell no. Hey, no, you ain't being with me. I don't care. Like, I remember I was seeing this video. This guy and his wife, and they had their little baby. You know, I think the hashtag title was something like, if you're, training my daughter to not appreciate the bare minimum, so when your dusty son, whatever, takes her to a trip to Europe, she won't be, it will take more than that to I forget the word, but take more than a trip to Europe to impress her. Like, what the hell are these people raising? The hell with that? Like, if I sat here and took somebody on a trip to freaking Europe, from Europe to Scotland to freaking Japan to Nova Scotia, I don't care where it's at in the world. Hell, if I took you down to the Bermuda Triangle, you better appreciate it. The hell wrong with people nowadays? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm a cool dude, but I ain't no fool. Like, so, like, what's the next steps? No, you just training her to be stuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. Dudes, you're not as off from this neither. If you have, bro, if you sitting up here and you trying to train your daughter to not learn what it means to be appreciated, there's a difference. Like, some brothers really need some help. Some brothers really need some help. If you train on something like that, dude, you trying to make sure ain't nobody trying to get with that woman. That's what you trying to do. You trying to give her a life of just her being alone. That's all you trying to do. You trying to set her up for failure. Like, real talk. It's like, I don't know anymore. I don't know. Like, God. Woo, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about it. I can't help it. But there's so many things that we got going on right now, and once again, like, it just kind of shows the world we do live. Once again, we do live in a very materialistic world, right? I understand it. I get it. But dang, bro, like, just because everybody else is doing the same thing doesn't mean you have to. Like, I have a personality. I'm my own man. I do my own thing. I'm gonna be about my own. I'm gonna handle my business my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm more than okay with making accommodations for the person that I'll bring into my life. But there's too many people who are followers. They're not leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. And I'm an individual. I'm my own man. I'm not going to sit up here and follow nobody. Who the hell am I following? I'm out of here. I make my own. Like, there's a difference. Never, never make somebody else's purpose yours. The only purpose that you need to make that's yours, take into consideration, put that ring on the finger. That's your responsibility. You have yours, and then you're going to adopt somebody else's. Like, so, for instance, at this table, mama, we've been good for a while. We've been chilling. Love you. And I don't want to see another day without you. So it's just, but I want to make sure that we're on the same page. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that you understand what I'm looking for going forward. I want to understand what you looking for going forward. And we may not have everything now, but I want to at least be able to, because hey, we might need to revise this plan and different things like that. We got to figure something out. But I just got to know where we sitting at, because I adore you. You know what I'm saying? This is the place I want to be. You feel me? I got to know how you feeling. So I got to know how you feeling. So don't get upset with me. Don't get upset with me. It's just, I care for you. And I'm ready to take that next step. So just sit down. Let's have this talk. Let's see what's going on. And, we'll take it from here. So what do you need? What do you need? Because, I think I've already explained about it. Self-explained to us. So tell me what you need, right? And this is what I'm going to need from you. What's realistic for us? Because we might not be there, but I can continue to work on it. Is there something that I'm doing that you don't like? That you don't like too much? Holla at me. Like, obviously nothing's going to always be perfect, but at the same time, that doesn't mean I can't continue to keep working at it. We call this common sense, right? It's too much trying to understand of, let's say, a woman's and a man's like nature. I guess as far as from a sexual sense, it's trying to how to attract this or attract that, how to try to sound emotionally mature and how to play the game, but not play the game enough. And all this, if it's, so crap. Like, at what point we're going to have this real, serious conversation and talk? What we going to do? At what point do we cut the crap out, cut the nonsense out? Stop listening to all this crazy stuff that's out here, because the internet ain't going to help you, man. The internet is not going to help you, man. Holler back at me and let me know what it really do. So, I would love to see people be happy, be good. But when you come back and remember that this conversation at the table had to happen, remember that you did the right thing and had this conversation, that you had some time with somebody. And for people who feel like, oh, you're wasting your time, chances are you're not even looking for anything serious. You're looking for the next person. You're just trying to, at least trying to strip them of their resources. Remember, everybody's going after the top earners or whatever the case may be, right? Everybody's, assuming they all deserve all that. But here's my problem, especially when it comes to this table, because everybody think they deserve the world. Here, let's do this. Why in the hell do you think you deserve something from someone when you have not even bothered to put a lick of effort in there? And then you talk about not accepting any more of the bare minimum. But you haven't even put any effort at all. So you offering no effort, not even the bare minimum effort, but then you think you deserve the world. Like, how does this work? This goes to the brothers too. Real talk. Real talk. How do you think you're going to get into something based on a freaking condition and then expect somebody to give you everything if they have, including their soul, on a condition, with the condition of it being that you ain't going to offer nothing, because you ain't offering nothing at this table. Hence why people be asking. Because when you find a person and you know they comfortable, they good, they ain't gonna request nothing from you. So once again, when I hit this table, and I never ask a soul about what they bring to the table, because there's absolutely nothing you can give me. Period. But I wonder who you are, though. We can start there. Start with that. And watch how quickly people crumble. Start there. At the bare minimum. At the core of somebody's soul. And watch how the dominoes fall. Allow the dominoes to fall, you'll find better partners. You can't be serious about talking about the table when you're. I know there's already some stuff I probably got to cut out at some point, but you cannot be serious about asking me what I bring to the freaking table, and you still can't get out the club trying to pop bottles, trying to live up that lifestyle. You every single other night or whatever the case may be. You can't get out of the environment. There's a reason why bro. I don't go to the clubs. I do not like strip joints. I don't like a lot of these things. A lot of people can't get themselves out of these situations. It just can't. It's always the same nonsense. These people got more heart and soul about going out to pop a bottle than they do about actually being in a committed relationship. But got nerve to scream up at the highest of the mountaintops. They deserve more than the bare minimum and can't even give you a solution as far as what they actually bring to the table that somebody actually cares about. So right now, I got a lose-lose situation. Every day in my life, I'm getting up. I know I'm waking up to somebody. I done sat there and listened to all the experts, and I really worked hard at trying to understand women on a general scale. Okay, cool. I worked my game, try to get myself up, got myself good going. All right, now I'm feeling good. I got my paper bread. I'm ready to go ahead and spend. I go out and go and grab a chair. All right, cool. I'm waking up. I might as well just say it. I'm getting older, so there's not really much I can do. Then I'm going to sit up here and complain later. All of a sudden, this woman ain't exactly what I need because she can't support me emotionally. She can't support me in any kind of capacity in my life at all because I've just been out here giving. And so I just got to keep struggling out here to try to go and get it. And now I can't be vulnerable. I can't go and have no conversations. Hell, freaking my mother passed away. If this ever situation happened, which chances are is going to happen because nobody lasts forever. She can't possibly be my emotional support. If it was maybe even somebody else within the family or anything else, like if this comes to a real point in time where I know I'm down, that's not what she ever offered because at this table, she was just too busy worried about my resources. Oh, I don't want to be in poverty, just to make the assumption that everybody want to be in poverty. But even if you was working and you had a pretty all right career, you got to be making over a certain point in order so that way you don't look like you're in poverty. Like everybody has this issue about they just need to be above somebody, right? They need to be above somebody, sit down with the elites and all this other stuff. Like, let me ask about these elites real quick since we're talking about this table. The elite could come to you with everything at the table, right? They're so freaking good. Why a lot of them still be struggling with their relationships? Still can't hold on to anything? Be passing each other off like it's nobody business, on to that shit, on to that shit, going off this dude. Jokers dropping out from their marriages. But everybody want to buy their books though. My God. Yeah. Listen, life's too short. If you're going to do anything at this table, do it right. And get away from it. Get away from it. Nobody deserves your resources. Nobody needs to know what your freaking salary is. The only thing they need to know is, hey, do you work a job? And if they know the job, if you have reservations about sharing what your job is, I feel bad for those people who do make extra money because, bro, you about to get screwed. And they done let you know they were about to screw you. And jokers be out here be like, okay, sure, no problem. I mean, hell, if they feel good about flaunting with their money, I guarantee you. It ain't going to be only you they're going to be flaunting with. But either way, some people don't care too. Some people are in that camp of they don't care if they're guys with multiple dudes, just as long as they bringing in the money. So the table, all this is so that you can find all this information out. But unfortunately, you could probably find out more than enough information if you just stay true to yourself, just ask the real questions, and then you use that table to figure out where you stand at in your relationship currently, if you could take it to the next steps. And then not only that, can you actually work towards building a family? And then whatever steps you might need to take so that way you get to that better position, so that way you can then do it. That's my 2 cents. But yeah, let's keep living that ignorant lifestyle and living like, oh damn, like I deserve that bad chick, bro, because I just deserve, like no, this is what that goes into it, and this chick be like, I deserve that top 1% earner, like yeah, you gotta be 500,000. She don't look all that good, you don't look all right. He's got like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm all right, I'm all right. Look, it'd be cool. Damn, if I could find a chick on the farm and the only thing she doing is chasing chickens all day, she gotta be juicy because them blades gotta be thick as I don't know what. Either way, look, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it real to you. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't know. Like it's like maybe you have to go find an Amish person. I don't know. But look, listen. I think this is Mark's the end of this episode. It might be something a little bit different from the next one. I don't know. I still would like to talk a little bit gaming and stuff like that. Try to put some stuff in perspective. Maybe just get a little bit away from this stuff. But don't give up. Don't give up. And no, I think the next episode is going to be about what we can do as men to bring more to the table. Well, I should say maybe more to the table, but bring more, or at least, I'm going to, not bring more to the table, bring, like, to be better. Because, man, we also got to be accountable for our own. So we got to do a better job for ourselves, and that will help our partners be better for us as well, too. But usually it starts at home. It starts right at the top, and we always sit at the top because she ain't taking the top. So, yeah, that's on us. But until then, make sure you take care of yourselves and take care of each other. It was a pleasure having this wonderful podcast with you guys. I got to make sure I got to go back and listen to the edits because I know I kind of threw one explicitive in there. And I don't know how YouTube takes that stuff. So yeah. Believe in yourself. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too caught up in the dumps. And to the ladies out there, real talk, some of y'all got it real easy. Y'all got it real easy. Y'all need to be making things mad complicated, crazy. But either way, be safe for everybody that's out there. Look at your loved ones, give them a hug, tell them you appreciate them, that type of stuff. We got the kids, give the kids kisses. And yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy. And I'll catch you on the next one. This is Journey Pages Podcast, episode 4. And I'm signing off. Night. No, night. What the hell? All right, later.